put the phone
hello.
down.
Welcome to Just Say Fuck It podcast. I'm your host, BlkPepperPotts.
And I'm Maserati. It's the Maserati show.
Oh, I don't think so. Not after all
Wait a
I
minute, I
just
should be
had to
looking at my
do.
computer, right?
Somebody just had a freaking microphone and he didn't know how to turn on. We had to go all the way through. Oh, yeah, I'm calling it. We had to go all the way through TeamViewer. Set your shit up through there. And
We,
let me check this audio because
we,
I pretty much guarantee this shit is dubbing over.
we.
I said I.
Oh, yes. My
Wait.
co-host
Wait. Stop
decided
talking.
that
Stop
she
talking
would.
for a second.
My co-host
Stop talking for a
decided that
second.
she
Hold
had.
on. Yeah, you got my voice is echoing over yours. Oh, coming out your phone. I don't know what you can do, but it's yeah. Your audio
I
sounds
mean,
great through your computer,
when I
but
put the phone down, you said that it got worse. So
can you turn the volume down on your phone?
I mean, it's pretty down low.
Ah, shit. God damn it.
I mean, I can still hear you as long as you don't start mumbling like you usually do.
I'm not mumbling. I'm not mumbling whatsoever.
Is it echoing now?
Say what?
Is it echoing now?
Yeah, because I had my volume turned up, but now you good. I don't know. I had to go to the stream and look. That's just how this is right now. We're sorry. This is the first time we've tried to stream out this way. um, we'll have all this fixed at some point. Yeah, I'm about to tag you in a Facebook one. Pull it up and hear how bad it is. Hold on. But what are our topics while we do that? That way I won't be talking. No, why did I lose your audio? I don't have your audio anymore through the stream. Not through the stream, I can't. Is your team viewer still up? No, it's not, because you just did something. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. I know, I'm about to pull it back up, though. Oh, man, yeah, it is still up. Um, oh my God. What are you doing? Are you clicking on stuff? Stop clicking on stuff. Okay, are you still by the computer? Yeah, your audio ain't coming through no more. Your audio completely stopped coming through. No, I can only hear you on my phone. This is a you thing, though. Okay, say something now. I can just put the phone by my mic, so now your audio picks up. I don't know what happened. It totally dropped your audio. But I think it's you. I think it's your computer with all the shit you need to update. I really do. But yeah, go ahead. What's the topics?
Oh, Tory, Meg, and Kelsey. They're now in court. Gunna and Young Thug. They're in court. Ooh, we can talk about Glorilla and her personal assistant.
Mm-hmm. I'm just tagging you.
Did we have anything else? I think that might have been everything.
All right. I hope you can be heard. I guess I'm gonna have to sit here for an hour and hold my phone up to the microphone.
It's a goddamn shame.
It is because you need to update your shit. My shit working beautifully. I don't know. This is used.
My computer works fine for what I use it for.
Yeah, what you use it for. Welcome to 2022. All right, well, let's get into this first topic.
All right, what are we talking about first?
Oh, yeah, we might as well.
Kelsey?
Yeah. You can start it.
Should I?
You can start it. It's your topic.
All right. Well, Well, on Monday they started going to court for the alleged shooting of Meg Thee Stallion. Um,
Oh no! I just made a mistake and hung up on him. All right, my
yeah,
bad. Go ahead.
yeah. Anywho, day one, they started off with the police officers and the detective on the case. Day two, they had it was day two Meg. I believe day two was Meg, and day 3 and 4 was Kelsey. Right?
I know most of the details, not necessarily the order of when things happen. Um, yeah.
Yeah, because Kelsey, I think Kelsey wrapped hers up today.
Okay. Yeah, I
Like the
haven't had any
defense.
updates on what happened today.
Yeah, Kelsey wrapped up hers today. The defense asked her a couple questions um, today, and they wrapped up hers. I don't know who's coming tomorrow, but it has been a shit show.
Mm-hmm.
It has. They're gonna fire that prosecutor.
Really? What makes you say that?
It's not. It's ill prepared. Um, the police officers came in, and basically everything that police officers like. First off, you're supposed to use certain markers for something like bullet shells. So they didn't use that. They used like paper, like notebook paper to like mark certain stuff, and like it was like not professional the way that they did the whole thing. Um,
You think they get any
they
leeway because this was during COVID?
I don't know, but I say this: even when they questioned the detective, the lead detective in the case, one of the things that happened is they said, "Did you listen to any of the audio?" Because they had different audios from what was going on from Tory, Kelsey, and Meg, and he said he just listened to it maybe 2 weeks ago. So having them come on, usually when you have the police officers in on something, they should have a little more knowledge. They should have some type of intel. Like the police officers did nothing. Like you really didn't hear anything that first day. That was that shocking because they really didn't. They didn't have anything like that. We already knew everything. We already knew it was 5 bullets found. We knew that. The only thing that we didn't know is about how the bullets were found, and the bullets was just like I think a neighbor found the fifth bullet. The other bullets was like scattered around. Um, so the first day, it was the police officers and the detectives. They didn't know shit.
Mm.
Second day, Meg, she got on the stand, and she was she really wasn't any help to the case.
What was her testimony?
Her testimony was pretty much that her and Tory had a sexual relationship. Um, see, now I know the story, so I don't want to say this is what she said, but what I do know is she came in, she talked about that. They asked her about what had happened, and it was almost the same as what we already knew. They were at a Kelsey, what's her name? Kylie Jenner's party.
Mm-hmm.
Little minor details. She said she wanted to go because her wig was slipping off. Um, um, basically, the argument happened. She said that Tory. She said, okay, here's something she did say. She said she did not see Tory shoot her. She said that she turned her head and seen his arm over the top of the window of the Escalade, and then he said, "Dance, bitch, dance," and started shooting.
Oh, so he never got
Um,
out.
huh?
So he never got out because somebody was saying something about that yesterday. Well, how'd he get out the car so fast? And I'm like, shit, I don't know. So she's
Yeah,
saying he never even got out the car when he did that.
yeah. See, the problem is this, and even without going step by step through what everybody said, I say it's a shit show because everybody's story has everybody doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's story has them like delayed, and she didn't see him, but she heard him say "dance, bitch, dance" and started shooting. My thing is this: Tory Lanez is like 5'2". I don't know if people ever been in an Escalade, and maybe she meant through the window. Maybe she meant through the window, because my question is still, where did this glass come from? Because she did step on glass.
Are
as
you
far as the
saying
strap
that
goes,
because of something that came out over the summer?
huh?
Are you saying that because of something that came out over the summer that said she had glass in her foot?
Yeah,
Okay,
the
here's where
stuff
I
that
call
was.
bullshit on that. They also said over the summer that Tory didn't have gunshot residue on him, and now they saying he did.
Yeah, every listen,
So
part of the
that's why
shit
I'm just
show.
like, right.
Everything that they're saying, like everybody has a different story. Everybody,
Yeah. And but see, for
everybody
me,
has something different.
I'm just
Huh?
waiting on the things that come out while they're in court. So hearing that he didn't have gunshot residue over here over the summer don't even matter to me because now y'all saying in court that he actually did. Um, far as her having glass in her foot, I'm waiting to hear them say that it was that and not her getting shot. Because until they say that in court, I'm assuming that she was actually shot and that's what was in her foot. Because I was telling somebody before, a lot of times we get information out, especially before the trial starts, to confuse people. Because the people are still on the jury. They were outside when all these things was taking place. They was hearing the media news and stuff like that. And the jury really can't consider anything other than what they hear in court anyway. So until they say in court she had glass in her foot, I'm gonna have to roll with the fact that she got shot because I'm like, how would the case even go this far if it was just glass in her foot? I know they added a charge of something like negligence with a weapon or something like that for him, but
Yeah, but and okay. So with that, what happens is this: when the closer you get to a trial, depending on how strong a case is, they'll have something to where they can fall back on and say, listen, before they go back in and they make a decision, we're going to offer you one last deal. If you plead guilty to this, we'll drop these charges. So I feel like they probably came with that third charge of, letting off a firearm because they can go to him and say, just plead guilty to this and then we'll drop everything else. Because if they felt like he shot her, that's already included. Discharging a firearm, that's not a, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not a new charge. If you think somebody shot somebody, discharging a firearm is part of shooting somebody.
yeah. I think that I thought they added it maybe because I feel like he really did do that dance bitch and shoot at her feet. And I don't think it was as intentional to shoot her, but I'm really starting to feel like that's what actually happened. And the friend didn't help. That chick clearly been paid off. Clearly fucking been paid off. Even how she was speaking of, I don't remember, and yes, he mentioned this and shit like that. Um, to her testimony is very weird. But this is also just the one side of it. You know, the defense hasn't presented their case yet. So how they present these things may be something completely different.
But, all right, so, and again, part of the shit show, like, the way that she presents the story happening
Mm-hmm.
is completely different than how, Meg is presenting the story happening. Which, I kind of get, but then again, I in the back of my mind, I felt like there was going to be some type of play like this. I felt like there was going to be something to where, it's going to be kind of okay, like in the movies, you want to get yourself on the stand so you can tell your story, but who's gonna put you on that stand? If you say certain things, they're gonna put you on that stand. And then once they're gonna get you on that stand, that's when you be like, all right, but just like in the movie, you be like, bam, you pull the what's his name, the Tariq St. Patrick move. You start talking about other shit. She pulled something like that to where, the prosecutor is the one that subpoenaed her. They didn't know that she had her an attorney, and before the thing even started, she asked for immunity, and they gave her immunity. I don't understand why the fuck would you give somebody immunity if you're getting all these sides of the story, you're trying to get to the bottom of something. If there's an extra person, if there's a witness, and they have the witness, I'm assuming the defense is going to call this witness on Friday. There's a witness that's given their account of what happened, and their account of what happened is this: there was 4 people fighting. It was 2 guys, it was 2 females. They said that the guy was beating up on Meg, and they said that when the firearm discharged, the female was the one that was by Meg. The 2 guys wasn't by Meg when the firearm went off, when they were out there fighting. So my thing is this: why would you give her immunity if you have a witness saying there was another female next to Meg when that firearm went off?
Because
that person don't have a dog in the fight.
Because the catch-22 to immunity is you can't go up there and lie. And I'm pretty sure hers is gonna work the same way. You tell any little part of that shit, and it's not true, she fucked. And that immunity goes away, and I'm pretty sure they still get to keep whatever testimony she had. So that's why when she was up there saying shit like that, I'm like, girl, you about to land yourself in jail. First of all, perjury. She was clearly up there lying about stuff. And that's why I'm like, I don't know who she's beneficial for as a witness. To me, she didn't help Tory. She didn't help Meg, and she didn't help herself.
What do you think? What parts do you think she lied about?
What parts do I? Oh my God. It was her backtracking. It was her pleading the fifth. It was saying, oh, well, he brought up $1 million, but I don't know why he brought. It was literally every fucking thing she said. She sounded so full of shit. And I went through all of her testimony yesterday, but that was yesterday. Because somebody had posted, like, in order, all her responses and shit. And I'm looking at this like, this bitch is going to go to jail. She's going to go to jail for perjury, if anything. Because damn near everything she said, they brought up what she recorded and told them over September. And to say, oh, I don't remember saying that. Well, girl, it's right here. And then they'll say, well, you said this, that, and the other. And either she admitted it or said it didn't happen like that. I know she said the stuff that she gave in her first testimony wasn't true. That's what I'm saying. She's not a reliable witness for either side. I don't get it.
I don't understand why the prosecution would bring her on the stand to testify, knowing that her and Meg was going back and forth on social media.
I think they brought her just even to bring up the fact that he tried to pay her off. Because he did.
You can bring those type of things up, but the problem is this: when you talk about those situations, the defense is gonna be like, "Well, we need proof," and that's in court. Like, You can sit back and be like, oh yeah, we know such and such. We know this happened. We
Well,
feel
did
like
they?
we have a strong case that happened. They'd be like, well, all right, well, you got to show us proof. They'd be like, well, we don't have proof, but.
Did the defense ask for her to show truth? Because didn't they cross-examine her?
You said the defense asked what?
Asked her to show proof about that $1 million. No. The defense cross-examined her, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't they ask her that?
Why would they ask her about the...
To prove it. If you're saying my client offered you $1 million, I mean, they could have squashed that right there. Because I agree with you on the proof part. But if they didn't ask her that, why?
You know what? I take that back. She mentioned it. I don't know how it came up, but she did mention...
Oh, they flat out asked her.
Huh?
I remember. Because I read this part. In September, she said that Tory offered her, or whatever this was before the trial, when they interviewed her, she said he offered her $1 million not to talk about the case. This is what she said then. And then now she's tried to say, well, she doesn't know why he offered her $1 million. That's why I'm like, if it comes up at all, why wouldn't the defense just be like, if that wasn't the case, why wouldn't they just say, okay, well, like you said, then prove that he offered you $1 million? I don't know, one thing to that $1 million, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's a shit show because it seems like, here's what I really think. And I'm not going, first off, let me say this. If it comes down to who I really believe, I'm going to go with that extra witness. Like I said, that person does not know who, they seen a fight and they're telling them like what they saw happen. They didn't have a dog in the fight. They not going to jail. They ain't about to get prosecuted. They don't.
Wait, you talking about the neighbor?
Yeah.
Oh no, they took theirs away. If I'm not, somebody else told me they not using their testimony. They changed their testimony.
Oh, no. They're coming in.
Last I heard, they changed their testimony.
The defense asked Kelsey today about, the shooting of Meg, and he was like, the lawyer was like, well, we have somebody that says that, it was a female that fired that gun. He said, we have somebody.
It was the person that was asleep, wasn't it? And got up and saw it? It was somebody claiming they saw it out their window or some shit.
Yeah, it was a witness that said.
Yeah, somebody told me yesterday they said they was taking that away. Because their testimony had changed. Like, first their testimony was that they saw it, and then they changed it till they heard it.
We gonna find out because the defense definitely said we have a witness that's gonna testify.
When did you hear this?
Shit, it was a couple hours ago. It was maybe 2-3 hours ago.
Okay. Well, I did say somebody else, but he got all the rest of that right.
But again, somebody that says something like that their story sounds more accurate than any of the stories I've heard as far as what's going on, because he had gunpowder residue on his hands. She has gunpowder residue on her hands. There's 4 DNAs on the gun. And nobody ever tested Meg as far as whatever happened. So whatever happened, everybody was drunk. And again, I think that the prosecutor, he's going to get fired, because why the fuck would you bring somebody on to testify? And the first thing that everybody talked about was she was at Kylie's house. She was knocked out drunk. They woke her up. She was like, and then when I woke up, Tory was there, and Meg was out making nachos or something in the kitchen. She was making food or something for people in the kitchen. So my thing is this, like, y'all are going off the testimony and the memories of people that are telling you just how fucking drunk they were on a drunken night.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to expect them to recall all of this shit. I couldn't tell you on a sober night some things that didn't happen when I was younger. So I know good and hell well they don't remember some of that, a lot of that shit that happened. If they're that drunk, hell no. Hell no. I think the last people I want to hear from that last witness. I want to hear from the doctors because a lot of people were saying that the discovery was fake, the one that said about the glass, and I'm like, but the prosecutor drug Tory back into court over the leaked discovery. Why would you, if it's fake, if it's just some fake shit that somebody put out here saying it was glass that the emergency room doctor had treated her foot for?
Yeah, I didn't believe that when I heard it either, by the way.
But again, why would a prosecutor bring you into court and say that you leaked this discovery if it's fake?
Did they say you leaked the discovery? Because has anybody said in court that it was glass in her foot?
Hell, Meg said, she said when she went to the doctor
in court,
she had glass in her foot.
In court,
she didn't know she was shot. Huh?
Did anybody say in court that it was glass in her foot?
Oh no.
Okay, but then I don't even care.
Listen, but they haven't gotten to any doctors yet, so nobody would be able to say glass or not.
Right. So we ain't even there yet. So I'm just, I remember what I said. I'm waiting to hear what people say when they actually get to court. And the reason that I didn't believe about that story about it being glass, because it came out right after she did her interview. That's why I didn't believe it. That's why I call bullshit. Because there's other things being brought up. That's another reason why I'm waiting to everybody say what they say actually in court, is because when she denied being with Tory, and then she went to court and told the truth about it. Well, first of all, that was a television interview, so I didn't really care. First of all, I didn't care if they were having sex or not. Like, that was such a non-issue, and I felt like when she got asked that in the interview, it was very pointless, and she had a right to answer that however she wanted to. But then when she went to court, you know, she said what she had to say. So that's why I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna just see what people say when they're actually in court and don't want to perjure themselves. Because they don't want to go to jail over this bullshit. So until somebody in court says, nah, it was glass in her foot, or no, she actually got shot, then that one's still up in the air. I just feel like it wouldn't have gone this far if it was only glass in her foot. Like, they would have known that by now.
As fucked up as this case has been, and as much crazy shit as came out, as far as this case is concerned, nothing will surprise me.
Oh, that would definitely. Because Tory's defense alone, they would have been able to get this shit over with a long time ago. Maybe if he actually shot and he didn't actually shoot her, then it would be that one thing that they added. This trial never would have, I don't even think it would have went to trial if it was just glass in her foot. I really don't. Because his defense alone would have got this shit out of here. Especially the way it impacted his career. This shit would have been a wrap.
With the court and the prosecutor, it just depends. A lot of times, we'll be like, oh, that don't really make sense for them to do that. And they'll do some shit, and you'll be like, why would you even...
Agreed. But I think he has enough money to pay for a lawyer that wouldn't even let this shit go to court and hurry up and clear his name so he can get back to having a career. Like, I just don't think I think he has enough money that it wouldn't have gone this far. Again, after what happened with his career, he would have been got this shit over with. Remember the stuff that people were saying about him? Especially when it first happened and shit. The moment they would have found out it was just glass in her foot, they would have got this shit over and fucking done with. This is not good publicity for him whatsoever.
Okay, so let's say that it was glass in her foot. I mean, what do you mean he would have got it over with?
That last charge that they added. So, like, if he actually did shoot and it was just glass in her foot and he never actually shot her, there just probably would have been some kind of settlement or something. They would have just got this shit done. Now, if he's just saying he didn't do any of it, okay, what I'm saying is, if it was actually just glass and he the one that actually shot, he would have just squashed this shit Okay, yeah, negligent use of a firearm or whatever the fuck it is. Which, in case if he did shoot her, that still probably would have got added. But whatever, because a lot of people saw that. Like, see, they just adding shit. He didn't actually shoot her. Well, if they added that, then they intend to at least charge him with actually discharging, which means he actually did shoot. Again, it still goes back to my theory that dance bitch. And I think I said that from the beginning. I think that's what I was thinking from the beginning when I heard it. Like, that's probably the story that I'm actually believing. I don't think he shot her on purpose. I don't. I think he shot at the ground or whatever the fuck he did, and whether it's glass or whatever, she ended up getting injured from it. Is what the fuck I think.
So how did Kelsey get gunpowder on her?
That's one part I don't understand because they both had gunpowder. Did they say where? Did they say on his hands? On her hands? Or just on them? Have they stated where the gunpowder residue was yet? Because that shit can transfer.
It can transfer, but
so like if it was on either of their hands, but on the person jacket or something, like they grabbed them after. That's why I asked if they said where the gunpowder. They just said on them, found on them. They didn't. I don't think they said on what part of them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's that last witness and it's the doctors that I really want to hear from.
Yeah.
Because the doctors is the ones, they haven't said shit. They haven't came forward. And it's so much shit that's up in the air that I just feel like they was all tussling. Somebody went to get a gun and somebody was tussling with the gun. Somebody was trying to get the gun out their hands. The gun went off them 5 times. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody had did something to the point where everybody was like, look, if I say such and such, it's gonna put me in a certain light.
Yeah.
If I say if they find out this part, it's gonna put me in a certain light.
So yeah, shit. Somebody could even picked up the gun after it was fired. But one thing is for damn sure, somebody shot the goddamn gun.
I think they were just tussling. Somebody went to get the gun, and they was like, hey, and they tried to grab the gun from whoever, and it went off, and she just ended up getting hit with maybe shrapnel or whatever the case may be. But you know, I think that they was all drunk and they was all doing extra shit, probably out there tussling or whatever. But some of a lot of the things that people are saying or whatever happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, they saying that Meg and Kelsey was fighting. I think that they probably had a little bit of a tussle, but if you look and you seen the pictures of Kelsey afterwards, she looked like she just stepped out to fucking, you know what I'm saying, out to beauty shop or something. They said she had like a cut or something on her leg, but you know what I'm saying, like the pictures of her afterwards, there wasn't no hair. Females pull hair and all crazy shit. So, and Meg is what, 6 foot? So it would have been some type of damage. Even drunk Meg. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, how drunk she was, but again, and I just got to hear from other people that don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, you know what? I just remember Kelsey would even change it again. She was like, I didn't know she was injured. That chick is so unreliable. That's what, like, only reason, because you asked, the only reason I could think they had her up there at all was just to bring up the fact that Tory tried to pay somebody off. That's the only reason I could think they had her up there, because she didn't help either of them. She didn't even help herself.
I don't understand why the prosecution would bring that. Like that's the most unreliable person to bring, is like the person that other person is going at war with. Like, why would you do that? Like, that's the craziest shit. Like,
I just told you why.
To come in the courtroom, because we were like, yeah, if they bring Kelsey in, Kelsey is about to say Tory did it and did it. And I'm thinking to myself, like, nigga, they was just fighting, unless they're about to pull some TV shit where Kelsey and Meg been cool all this time and they was faking it on social media, and they gonna get in the courtroom and be like, yeah, Tory did it, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be like a case closed situation. I'm like, and I don't see it happening. I don't see people just going to these great lengths to to do something like that. So I really, really, really want to hear from these people that really don't have a fucking dog in the fight. Because when we did hear, we heard from the police and we heard from the what you call it, the detective, and something else that it's a white guy. It's called Lawyers for Workers. He said that during the time, the police officers have to keep their body cam on. So they were by Tory and Kelsey after it happened, and you could hear audio of Tory and Kelsey was, she was like, "Oh my goodness, what we gonna do?" And Tory was like, "Hey, listen, don't worry, don't nobody know nothing." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah. She also said that Tory at some point had apologized when they asked her about it. She said she didn't know apologize for what though.
Yeah, like it's too many fucking stories going. Everybody got a different story. It's almost like they was at different events. Like where was you at? Because one person they talking about it was at the front of the car. Another person, oh, it was the back of the car. One bullet shell was found by a neighbor in their yard, and they said it was like further up the street. So you know what I'm saying? Like I really like draw us a picture or something. That's what I wanted to see. Like that person that sketched, and they'd be like, "Well, here's the vehicle. They said that Meg was here, Tory, and they draw Tory, and they like, and Kelsey was here. So when here's here, and then she did this, and then because the way they describing shit, I'm like, I don't see it because again, the way she's saying he reached over the window and shot down. Tory is 5'2". They're in an Escalade, and the way his arm would have been, unless she's a good ways in front of that Escalade when he starts to shoot, he gonna hit her in the leg or something. It can't be no. And the scar that we seen was like towards more to the front of her foot. If Tory's behind you, how does that hit the front like that? So I think everybody just got something to hide in the whole situation.
Well, if he was behind her and she was facing him, that would be the front of her foot.
You said what?
If he was behind her, but she was facing him, that would be the front of her foot.
What you mean behind her but facing?
You said you didn't understand how it could be on the front of her foot. But I said you could be behind somebody, like somebody is behind you, but you turn around and facing them.
Oh no, because she said she didn't even see Tory shoot her. She saw his arm and the gun. This is what she said in court. She said she didn't see Tory shoot her.
I mean,
she saw
you see his arm and the gun. Do you see anybody else holding a gun right now? Then I'm gonna have to assume you the motherfucker that shot me. I don't need to see it. Is there anybody else around holding a gun with their arm out the window? Then it had to be you, motherfucker.
If she's facing him, then she's gonna see who's shooting. If her back is turned, like she said, she already said her back is turned. She said she just turned her head and seen the arm.
Okay, that's what I'm saying though. If you see one person with their arm out the window and holding a gun in their hand, there was only one gun found, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 DNAs. It's not like the way she's describing it. No. Even if you look at all the details, it couldn't happen that way. It could not have happened that way. Tory is 5'2". It's an Escalade. He shoots over, down. Your back is turned to him. You're facing the front of the Escalade, and you turn your head, but the shrapnel still hits the front part of your foot.
I don't know, child. I had to go with that one. If you didn't see
Every
nobody else holding that goddamn gun, I don't know how the
all of
fuck it
them
happened.
fools was all of them fools was tussling, and that gun went off.
What did Kelsey say as to where Tory was? Did she say he was in the car too?
She said she didn't see Tory.
Oh Lord.
That's what I said. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has something different going on to the point where all of them did something to where, and I get it because the where we at right now, as soon as something happens, everybody draws a bunch of extra conclusions and shit. So let's say, Kelsey has a gun and they trying to get the gun from Kelsey and the gun goes off, this, that, and the third. Well, all of a sudden now, Kelsey lied about this, Kelsey lied about that. Let's say Meg went to get the gun and they
You
trying to get
turning
the
the
gun
wrong
from
way.
Meg and the gun go off. Well, now they looking at Meg like, who was you about to shoot, Meg, that you went and grabbed the gun? Even if Meg was just grabbing the gun just to grab the fucking gun, because I've seen people just grab a fucking gun. I'm like, they ain't about to shoot nobody. They just on some bullshit. People gonna have something to say about it. So yeah, and then like I said, man, when you are in a certain situation, you don't want to say certain things because trust me, when shit comes out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna make people look bad. People will be like, well, damn, you said, you know what I'm saying? You said that you really didn't have nothing to do with it. Now it seems like you the one that started the whole shit.
Check your computer.
Huh?
Your light went out.
You said what?
Oh, you're turned the wrong way. You're facing the phone instead of the computer.
Oh. So you gonna hear all these different scenarios, and if they draw you a certain type of way, you definitely don't want to be the person that says, I'm the one that got the gun, but it fired because we was all outside, we was all tussling, the gun went off. Nobody's gonna want to say that. And if that does happen, and trust me, guns is loud as fuck. So if a gun goes off accidentally and somebody's trying to get a gun from you because, y'all drunk, you know what I'm saying, get the gun from, you're nervous, you're scared because the gun didn't went off, the police is on their way, and trust me, you think you going to prison if you've never been in trouble, you definitely thinking, I'm going to prison.
So, then you gotta be stupid as fuck to just be there.
When that shit first happened, I've been in that situation, not with the gun, but when something happens and the police start questioning you, I don't remember anything. Because what happens is, as soon as somebody starts saying, well, here's what happened, this, that, and the third, then they will go back and say, well, this person said such and such. You don't remember any of that?
Yeah. Well, I would. One, I don't drink enough not to remember. And some situations like that happen, baby, I'm going to be able to tell you every little detail, especially to keep myself out of it because I know I wouldn't put myself in it. Like, I just wouldn't even be in the situation in the first place. But if the police want to question me and I'm completely innocent, I ain't got no problem answering. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the fuck happened. And you gonna make sure you know it wasn't me.
What if you're not completely innocent, though?
But I am.
But what if you're not completely innocent in the situation?
It depends. That could have been both Meg and Tory. Just don't say anything right now just because of their celebrity status and them two, still being very new at the time. They could have both been telling her, don't say anything. And that's why I'm like, nah, you got to protect yourself in that situation. If you are completely innocent, you better say what the fuck you got to say. Because she was even talking about, I didn't know I needed a lawyer. Why wouldn't you? You've taken it this far into the case, and this case has gone this far. Fuck yeah, you need a lawyer. But what I'm saying in the first place, she had the option to talk. If she's innocent, she had the option to talk or wait for a lawyer. If she's not innocent, then yeah, she should have lawyered the fuck up and not said anything until her lawyer showed up when they took her to ask her questions and all that shit. But I know when the police first show up on the scene, they immediately started asking questions. But I can easily see both of them telling her don't say anything. I can easily see that. And not just Tory.
Shit. when it's something like that, see, even if you're completely innocent as to what happens, you still probably don't want to say anything till you have a lawyer there. And even with that, if something happens and you like, well, I want my lawyer before I start talking, now you look guilty. Whoever says it, if all three of y'all say it, all three of y'all look guilty. Like, why you need a lawyer?
I don't feel like that makes people look guilty. So if I'm on a jury and I hear everybody wanted a lawyer before they talk, I don't think that make you look guilty. I think that's just more so protecting yourself. I do, because for real, you should do that. And that's, I just said I wouldn't have a problem with talking because I know, one, I wouldn't be too drunk because I don't drink that much, so that's literally impossible. Two, I'm gonna remember where I was. Like, at best, I'm about to tell you everything from my perspective and how I had nothing to do with this shit. But if I was on a jury, no, I'm not about to immediately think somebody's guilty because they want a lawyer before they talk. Especially those two in the position they in. They probably had already been told, hey, you ever find yourself in some shit, don't say shit. Just call your lawyer.
Maybe. But again, once you start saying certain stuff, people take it the way they want to take it. You'd be like, hey, I want to speak to a lawyer before I say anything.
But that's not your problem, though.
It's like, it's one of those things like the police, they start chasing you. You start running because the police is chasing after you. And then they catch you, they be like, well, if you didn't do anything, why did you run? Because you're chasing me, asshole, and you about to beat my ass. I don't want you to beat my ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be like, well, if you didn't do anything, why did you run? Because
well, yeah, that's how the police look at shit. But the police is just step one. You take that to court and explain that. And if you are actually innocent, you should be okay. But that's a situational thing. What are the police chasing you for in the first place? Because, well, the reason I said that is something that when you take that to court, you might get a different response because people are getting different responses to that. If they're actually innocent, I gotta be honest, it's more likely the person is guilty and the police is chasing them. That's more likely. This more likely. But just as a black person, out of fear, and the police start chasing you, got plenty of other cases to present as to why you were scared, is what I'm saying. They love to bring up this case v whatever as an example, and I would make sure that my lawyer did that if I ever ran from the police and I was innocent.
I mean, in a perfect world,
nah, it ain't gotta be a perfect world
like that, but it don't.
It ain't gotta be a perfect world.
Like, yeah, it don't. Listen, because I'm a person that grew up around a lot of hood niggas. And if you're standing around talking to somebody, the police pull up, vice pull up. You about to just stand there? Because you may not have nothing on you, but shit, I remember my friend, he was selling drugs in his little driveway and shit. I just pulled up. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know that he just served somebody. I just pulled up. When the police come, they go on to talk to him. They come over, they talk to me. They look at my license. They say, oh, okay, so you from around the corner? I'm like, yeah. They was like, all right, well, look, we gonna tow your car.
Okay.
Keep in mind, I just pulled up. What are you towing my car for? What's going on here? Oh, because you and your buddy is out here selling drugs. I just pulled up. You can see that I just pulled up. The engine is still hot. I have a 85 Buick Sabre.
Did you know he sell drugs?
Did I know he sold drugs?
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to what the fuck he did.
No, don't do that. Did you know that he was a drug dealer?
I don't pay attention to what he did.
Okay.
I've never seen him. Listen, I've never seen him sell drugs. I've never been around him when he sold drugs. He was in the driveway. I was like, hey, I'm about to pull up on you. I don't know what he did. I don't ask people like. Hey,
only reason I said that because most times we associate ourselves with people that do shit like that, and then we be surprised when the police want to check our shit too, and we standing out there with them while they selling drugs. That's why I asked.
Oh, listen, I've stood out and around people that I knew sold drugs.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I know this person has drugs. I know that person has drugs.
So when the police pull up, do they think you a user or a dealer because you associating yourself with this person in this kind of environment?
Okay. Even if they think I am a drug dealer and they search me and they don't find any drugs, are they still going to take me in and arrest me and say they may have found some drugs on me?
If you in a situation that the police decide to take it that far, yes. Then yeah. I'm not saying it's right. Hold up, wait. I'm answering your question as to, yeah.
So I'm standing here. I don't have any drugs on me, but you're still going to tell. But you see everybody else, they take off running. And y'all searching. I'm standing there like, hey, I didn't do nothing. I'm innocent. So, you know what I'm saying? Do what y'all want. And they be like, oh, okay, well, let's get in the back of the car. All they got to do is, we talk about the fucking 90s. If they find a roach of weed or anything, hey, ain't this yours?
Yeah.
No, nigga. I was just standing here.
Yeah.
I was talking to people I grew up with.
But you also said it was the 90s. I'm not saying it's much better now, but there is a slight difference. No. I know when I'm around people that I know sell drugs, I know I'm putting myself in the situation to get myself questioned, searched, and whatever else. Especially if they have drugs on them. I don't have a problem with. Question and search, I don't have a problem with. The problem I have is if I didn't do anything, then let's keep it as I didn't do anything. Because let's be honest. Is it a high drug trafficking area? Because that get approached different. Is it a high drug trafficking area?
Yeah, that's where I grew up at. So now I can't go outside of where I grew up, or where I grew up at. I can't just go outside.
Well, notice how I said this wasn't right. I definitely want to be clear. But what I'm saying is when you're around people that do that. Now, why you got searched and searched, of course, you getting searched. Why you got put in the back of the police car, that's wild. Did they actually take you in?
Oh, no. Listen, when I said searched and put in the back of the police car, that was just me giving an example. But when they pulled up and said they was going to tow my car, no, they can search anything.
Okay. Did they tow your car? Did they tow your car?
No, they didn't.
Okay, so they was just bullshitting you just to get you to admit some shit.
Huh?
They was just bullshitting you to get you to admit some shit. That's the situation like we were just talking about, where either you could talk or just shut up until you have a lawyer come in. So if you had took it so far as to be like, no, just call my lawyer, they could have either brought you in because they would have felt like you guilty, what I doubt, or they would have just backed off because you bringing a lawyer in and with you being actually innocent. I really feel like they was just trying to get you caught up in the shit. But none of that happened. They didn't actually tow your car.
I mean, you talking about somebody that's 17. Well, no, I was 18 at the time. You talking about somebody that's 18. So talking about, a lawyer and this, that, and the third. That wasn't a thing. Like, they pulled it up. They talking about. What you mean the who?
I knew at that age to either talk or not, or call my parents. I ain't got shit. What do you want? I'm terrified. I can't handle this.
And the police is going, okay, so they call the police or they call your parents, and the police is going to tell them what they want to tell them. See?
Then you just don't talk.
Huh?
Then you just don't talk until you have an actual lawyer. They can tell your parents whatever they want. But see, some parents don't know how to handle situations like that anyway. The parent may come in and fuck it up even more. What was you doing around such and such? You need to just tell the truth.
And here's the problem, though. You can tell them, hey, listen, I'm not going to say nothing until my lawyer comes. They're going to be like, that's cool. Well, you can come down to the station. We're going to tow your car. But see,
here's the catch-22 with that. If they keep questioning you after you want a lawyer, then they're wrong. That's why if you want to just say, give me my lawyer, they can't question you anymore after that. They can tell you whatever the fuck they want to tell you and say to you, but you don't have to answer anything else. They want to tow your car and you actually get a lawyer, let the lawyer show up.
Okay, cool. 18 years old, they're going to tow your car.
Okay.
They take you down to the station. Your car's in the impound. Now, you have to come up with the money to get your car out of the impound because right or wrong, you got to get your car out.
Why when they illegally towed your car?
What you mean? Why?
They illegally towed your car.
That don't mean shit.
Yeah, it should. What did your lawyer say about it?
What? And you know what happens? You got to go to court and prove that they illegally towed your car.
Yeah.
And do you have money for an attorney?
Well, you get a public defender.
That public defenders ain't gonna do shit.
But see, you gotta, that's a lot of, it falls on, okay, I get what you're saying. We deal with things like that from lack of knowledge, lack of income, and lack of time to put a foot up somebody's ass for doing that to you. So if you end up with a public defender, yeah, I know they can be bullshit, and I know what the fuck they doing, but you need to at least know enough to be on their ass too. I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. They will purposely put us in those situations because we can't deal with them. We don't have time or the funds or the networking and things like that to properly file charges against them for illegally towing your car. Because that really sounds like a case you could have just sued them. You pulled up, somebody else was outside selling. You had nothing to do with that. They searched you, which I believe a search is acceptable, especially if it's a high drug trafficking area. But then they found nothing.
They didn't even get to the search. They was talking about towing.
Oh, but okay, but I'm telling you a scenario of steps that.
Oh, go ahead.
So you say, I want my lawyer. I'm not answering anything, and then they still tow your car anyway. My point is we lack a lot of the resources to properly handle that when it goes that far. So here you are completely innocent. You say you want a lawyer and they tow your car anyway just because they mad that you wanted a lawyer. Well, they probably already know you're not going to get nothing else than a public defender. So that's just them fucking with you. That's what that comes down to. You end up with a public offender, like you said, that's probably not going to do anything. And we don't know enough about law to make sure that public defender even does what they're properly supposed to do. Like, remember when I had just asked you not too long ago about trying to find a lawyer for something. We lack, that's the networking part I was talking about. You could just have someone that's a friend that's a lawyer be like, oh no, let me just make this phone call right quick and get your car out because the police is on bullshit. We don't even have to go to court. It really shouldn't even have to go to court. It shouldn't. You shouldn't have to even take that time out of your day to get your fucking car back.
I mean, you were right. But unfortunately.
So whose fault do you think it is? Do you think it's ours or is it theirs? The only reason I ask, do you think it's ours? Because we are a lot more knowledgeable about things now, and I think there's just less action. Things actually being resolved for us and expecting other people to fix our problems.
That's a hard question to answer because okay, all right, so here's and I've had a whole lot of bullshit happen to me. And shit, my friend is 30, he's got to be 35, 36 years old. He doesn't have anything. He works a regular job. He's not a criminal. Mm-hmm. He got pulled over. He had a roach. A roach.
What year was this?
This was 6 months ago.
Okay. What state?
He had a roach. Huh?
Was that Ohio?
Yeah, it was Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend, he stays, he used to stay like right down the street. So, you know, they come back, they pull him over, they come back, they say, all right, we'll get out the car. Well, he put the little roach in his pocket because he didn't think he was going to get out and get searched and no shit like that. So they're asking him questions, this, that, and the third. No other ticket except for that roach.
Yeah.
And now he has drug abuse on his record.
Well, it is illegal in the state of Ohio. If you do
drug
not have
use for a roach,
drug use, it's illegal. It's legal if you have a medical card.
Okay, I mean,
I thought
even
that
in
was
the
just a
past,
ticket.
listen, even in the past, you said what?
I thought that was just a ticket.
I was just about to say, even in the past, when weed was illegal, you would get a weed ticket.
Yeah.
He had drug abuse on his record.
And what did his
That
lawyer
means there
say?
was no leniency when he went to court. There was no, you're a first time offender. You have nothing. You're 35, 36. You don't have anything on your record. We're not about to charge you with drug abuse for a roach of a roach.
What did his lawyer say?
I didn't ask him all of that
Well,
because I was so floored that he has drug abuse on his fucking record. He he has never sold drugs. He's never done any criminal activity. For this man to have drug abuse on his record is
yeah.
damn near comical.
It's not right, but that's where his lawyer allowed shit to happen. And this is what I hate about the justice system. They expect they expect us to know, but you literally have to hire someone that's gone to school for a bazillion years to defend you. But they expect us to know. We don't know the law well enough to defend ourselves in court. How are we supposed to completely abide by it?
And we also have to understand something too. When we always talk about, get a lawyer, get a lawyer. There are levels. You can get a paid lawyer that still he's not a great lawyer,
which makes no sense. How are there levels to who defends you? Huh? That's wild to me that there are levels to who defends you because the law is just that fucking complicated.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying it makes no sense. That's like when I was saying they expect us to abide by the law, but you gotta pay somebody that's gone to school and studied it for millions of years, passed the bar exam, had plenty of experience to come in and defend you.
Because, and I've explained to different people before when I had worked for an attorney, they was like, well, do you want to get in law? I said, you don't understand. I said, being involved in law has nothing to do with right or wrong. It has nothing to do with whether you did it or not. Mm-hmm. It has everything to do with how good of an attorney that person is, because you could commit murder and you could have 18 people witness that murder. But if your attorney is good enough and creates a shadow of a doubt in that jury's mind, it'll be 3 people that'll be like, I don't know if he did it or not. Those 3 people will go make sure that murderer walks because he is that good of an attorney.
Yeah.
Johnny Cochran was a perfect example because even niggas was like, OJ was guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. And Johnny I'm saying Cochran that's insane.
Perfect example.
No, it's absolutely insane. All of it makes no sense.
But on the flip side, I had a conversation with, and I tell this story all the time, the guy that was supposed to prosecute Sean Levert. Mm-hmm. And he told me what their whole game plan was. And I was like, man, that's crazy that, that their game plan is that vicious. And he was like, yeah, it is. And he said he said that the way that they moved and the way that they worked was so crazy that he didn't want to work there no more. And he quit his job working. He quit his job working for them.
Yeah.
I forget if it was the county or what, but he said he quit his job because he was like, the way that they're set up, he was like, it's damn near impossible to win. He's like, I didn't find out I was not a good attorney until I didn't work there no more. He was like, I won every case when I worked there. Every fucking case I won. He said, I have lost my last 3 cases since I became an independent attorney because I realized I'm not as good of an attorney as I thought I was. He was like, the deck was so stacked up with people that was coming forward and saying this, that, and the third, and, other police officers saying this, that, and the third, and the judges was already on their side. So you think you're a great attorney. You making $300,000 a year. You driving a company car. You like, I'm winning everything. I'm 100%, baby. And then you work for yourself and you say, oh, shit. This is the same dude that was defending somebody that I knew. He got shot in the chest by the police from a police chase where the dude didn't have a firearm on him. The police just shot him just opened fire on the car from a little police chase. it was like 10 blocks or some shit. It wasn't even high speed. He just didn't stop. And they shot into the car. They shot him in the chest. And he was like, a good attorney would have got that man probably a good $2 to $3 million. He was like, the best I could have done was a class action lawsuit, which got him about, I want to say he got like 150. And after his attorney fees, he didn't even really walk away with that.
Yeah. Yeah, law is a funny thing.
Now, here's the flip side. If you do something illegal where you're making a lot of money, you can afford it.
You can afford it, yeah. Keep one on retainer.
But if you're innocent, you can't afford no lawyer a lot of times that's gonna get you off. That attorney got other cases to do with people that's probably gonna pay him. And he was like, listen, to make money, I need to knock out 5 cases a week.
It's no different than what I say about political office. That's their career. Over you. Over the people. That's their career. But we are definitely over our hour. We only had one subject. And I'm also tired of holding this phone.
Sad.
Yeah, it is sad that your computer is so trash. Thank you for joining. Just say fuck it. S141.
We have the same computer.
No, you don't.
Our computer's trash.
Nah, we ain't got the same. We got the same brand. We definitely don't have. Your computer can't do what mine can. Thank you for joining S141. Matter of fact, my mic works right there. I'm your host, BlkPepperPotts. You want to say your name or no?
I'm Maserati. It's a Maserati show. They
Oh my God. Tune in next week. We'll have this figured out more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on TeamViewer and update your drivers one of these days before next week. I know that's part of the problem. Sponsored by Peace of Mind Protection. See y'all next week. We will definitely be well more on time. Try to get it started by 8 next week. That's it for me.
Oh, I look good.